Howdy, folks. Rebecca Jolly here from Jolly Alchemy for yet another transit report. Today's report is for Sunday, the 13th of July, 2025, and we are moving into Cross of the Maya. So this is a right angle cross from the left angle cross of cycles that we just left. So the right angle crosses are the ones where we always start in the progression through the wheel. It always goes right angle cross, and that's the longest one, and then we have juxtaposition, which is just a few hours in the middle, and then we have left angle cross, the transpersonal crosses at the very end, because we're moving up through the profiles. In fact, today's changes are quite short, so let me get my cheat sheet and I'll show you why it is that right and left angles happen this way. Let's see, here we go. So here's the picture right there. And what that's explaining is the movement as we go through those profiles. So the profile cycle, according to Ra, begins with the 1-3 profile and then moves up to 1-4, then 2-4, 2-5, 3-5, 3-6, 4-6, and then we hit 4-1, which is the juxtaposition cross. And then after 4-1, then it goes to 5-1, 5-2, 6-2, 6-3, and back to 1-3. So if you look at that, you can see that it's a logical cycle. There are only 12 profiles, and we go through them over and over again. So all the profiles that start with 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 6 are all personal profiles. We're all doing our own thing. We're all sort of figuring things out and, as they say, bringing karma into the world. Although Ra always said karma is not a personal thing, it's a transpersonal thing anyway. So it's not like if you're a bad boy in this life, you're going to come back as a roach in the next life. It doesn't work like that. It's much it's over more long-term scales. So basically we have fractal families, and let's say you're a bad girl, then you're not accumulating karma for yourself personally so much as for your fractal. And then later, you or someone else coming in on one of those later numbers, which would be, let's see, 4, 6, it would be 5-1, 5-2, 6-2, and 6-3. Only 4 of them. And that's why the left angle is shorter than the right angle, because the right angle's got to go through all those numbers at the bottom. Then those upper numbers are coming into the world to resolve karma and to be more transpersonally wise, because the 5s are our teachers and the 6s are our role models. So that makes sense. You know, they're coming in with something, and a lot of times they come in with something from past lives to help give them a little bit more of a wiser, long-term, resolving karma perspective. Whereas those of us who come in on the right angle, I'm an example of that. We're going to be messing up a little bit more. We're going to be tripping and stumbling over things. We're going to be having more problems because we're working kinks out of the whole program that is our world, our egg, our consciousness as a unit, as a globe. So a little bit about profiles and crosses and how they move. So and I will give more later about the specifics of how they move in relation to each other. But in order to do that, I have to set up the tripod so that I can have both hands and blah, blah. So later. All right, so for today, we're moving into the Cross of the Maya. Okay, fine. What does that mean? The Cross of the Maya is about the 62nd gate. So this is it right here, coming out of the throat and moving toward the mind, or what Ra called the Ajna center. 62 is preponderance of the small, which is the gate of details, right? So it connects on the other side of the channel with gate 17, and that's the gate of opinions. So this is the channel that says, I think. It's the logical, it's in the logical circuit. So this is a very, it's a channel and a gate under a lot of influence and pressure from our world, because our world has so much pressure on left-brained activities, those logical kinds of sides of things, as opposed to the other side of the chart and this channel over here, which is about storytelling and collective and things that are going on that are way more right-brained, way more artistic, way more, they're not based in logic, so they don't make sense to a lot of people. Anyway, the Maya is about naming things. Things aren't real until they're named. So people with 60-second gates, I'm one, as you can see, there are people that go around naming things and creating things. So Ra himself was a 60-second gate. Also, Osho, he uses as an example, was a 60-second gate, going around putting names to things. And that leads to today's scarf, because today's scarf features things that can be named. So we have here a little turtle, and where's my other little nameable thing? Oh, I had a flower somewhere. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Nameable, this is the scarf of the Maya. So yes, and we have a song for the Maya. Now this one is a little bit of an interesting one. It's Super Bowl Sunday, Sundae, by Ozomatli, Ozomatli. I've never heard this song, but when I heard it, I thought, that's very interesting. This is actually kind of relevant. So the universe calls and I obey. Listen to it, see if you can see the resonance. He's a rapper, and he's rapping, he's naming things, he's calling things, he's doing this very repetitive, cyclical kind of boom, 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 boom. And I thought, okay, that is kind of a Maya kind of thing. So shout out to our rappers and this Super Bowl Sunday. I don't do Super Bowl. I've never heard this song before. Okay, gotcha. So let's get into the details of what's actually shifting for today. We have our brand new first line, 62 line 1 and 61 line 1, but we still have 42 and 43. Was it 42 and 43 on the other side? No. It was... Shit, I don't remember what's on the other side. I'll look it up again and tell you tomorrow. But 62.1 is routine, the routine of detail work. So there's our gate of detail. On the other side of that, we have 61. So 61 is, I call it mysteries of the universe, but it's inner knowing, inner knowledge, occult knowledge. It's coming out of this center of inspiration, which I have undefined. And 61.1 is occult knowledge, to solve mysteries with occult knowledge. And it's interesting because human design itself is occult knowledge. It's, I read something recently where Ra called it logical healing. I love that as a name, logical healing, because that's really what human design is about. It's saying, look, here's logically what's going on in your system. Here's the electrical connections that you can count on and see in your body. Here are the places where your body can be imprinted on by other people and by other forces. And it's a whole logical system that you can use to understand yourself, fall in love with yourself, and most importantly, be yourself. So, it's occult knowledge, and it's all about attention to detail, because if you didn't know, you could spend at least a solid decade studying human design and still just be barely beginning to get a grip on it. I myself have been studying it like a manifesting generator, which means drinking from the fire hose for more than 4.5 years now. And I'm still fairly new to it. I still don't have it all. So there's a lot there. Thank goodness I have the Gate of Attention to Detail as well as this channel for being able to explain things. That's this blue one right here. So our moon is doing a bunch of interesting things. All the moon gates are going through today are emotional gates, interestingly enough. So we start off the day with 49-2. And speaking of which, there's a detail I wanted to give, and that is that these transits are basically given in Pacific Standard Time. So they're looking for the West Coast of America, and if you're on the East Coast, it's fine. It's just a little bit of a shift, but generally we're doing the same thing. So it's not really that important what time they're coming out of. This is the time that really the whole country and even Europe are, Europe is 9 hours or so ahead, but still, it's not that different. So anyway, 49-2 is where the transit reading hit this morning, but we're also moving through 30, 55, and 37. So 49 is the gate of revolution, coming off of the emotional center. Here it is. Oh, no, that's not it. That's 6. Come on now. Here's the emotional center. That's why I was confused. Yes. So there's 49. I've got that one. Then we've got 30 over here. That's the fates. We've got 55. That's abundance of emotion. So glass half full, glass half empty kind of thing. And then we move over to 37, the gate of the mouth, or the gate of friendship, the gate of the mother's archetype sitting there. So all these emotional gates that are going on today, a lot of people are going to be emotionally activated today. So take that into account. Give yourself and everybody else a break on that score. 49-2 is exploring, to explore all possibilities before attempting revolution. And then the only other shift we have today is in Venus. That's one of our people energies. And it's 16.5, the spoil sport. I told you this one was coming. Skepticism to join the enthusiasm. So my daughter has this. In the night, we skipped over 16.4. But since I talked about it yesterday, I wanted to tell you what that was. 16.4 is leadership through enthusiasm for higher goals. So I think I've touched all the things. Our global energies are the same for today. So enjoy having attention to detail today and an interest in learning occult knowledge. Maybe you'll do a little more exploring of human design today. Maybe you'll visit my website. That is jollyalchemy.com, where you can learn more about what's going on, and you can even get a link to a beginner class of learning about details and attention to details in occult knowledge. So enjoy. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.